Friends, I'm getting a lot of questions from people about how the coronavirus, COVID-19, is going to impact people who are abroad, who are seeking to enter the U.S. with immigrant visas. Before we get into the questions, I want to say that I hope you're well, and I hope you're safe, and I hope you're practicing social distancing. That's the only way we can defeat this virus until a vaccine or treatments are available. I'm doing my part. I'm working from home. My family's here. We're well, we're safe, we're healthy, and I hope you are too. If you don't know me, I'm Josh Goldstein. I'm an immigration lawyer in Los Angeles, and I help people across the country and around the world get their visas out of administrative processing. I do that by suing U.S. consulates around the world. I sue them. I file writ of mandamus lawsuits to help people whose visas have been stuck and who have been experiencing a really frustrating delay. But now there's a new complication, and that is that COVID-19 and the coronavirus have made it so that it may not be possible to fly to the U.S. Maybe airlines service will be shut down or restricted. Maybe the issuance of visas could be interfered with by this virus. And the specific question that I'm getting is, what happens if you get a visa and the visa is good for a specific validity date, but you're unable to travel before the expiration of that validity date? That's the question I want to answer today. So before I answer the question, I want to explain the way this normally works. Normally what happens is that you have a medical exam as part of the immigrant visa process. And then the consulate issues to you an immigrant visa. And the immigrant visa is inside a sealed packet that they send you through a courier service. And typically it arrives at your house by courier service within 5 days of issuance. Each consulate has a slightly different protocol for how this works, but this is generally the approach. So you get a sealed packet, it's got the visa in it, and the visa is good for 6 months, for 180 days. And that 180-day period extends from the date of your medical exam. If you're unable, so you have to go to the U.S. and travel to the U.S. and seek admission, to use the legal language, seeking admission to the United States within the validity date of your visa, before it expires. So if you cannot come to the U.S. before the visa expires, you have to contact the consulate and you have to ask the consulate to extend the validity date of the visa. And the Foreign Affairs Manual, which is the operating procedure for consular officers, it gives the consulates great latitude to grant these requests. And in my career, I've had a handful of these requests, and they've routinely been granted. It hasn't been a big deal. But you have to explain why you're unable to travel during that time period. And you need a pretty compelling reason. The problem comes in now with COVID-19. Some of these consulates, even without the virus, even in normal times, even in the best of circumstances, it's extremely difficult to communicate with these consulates. You send them a notice, you send them an email, you communicate with them. They don't really get back. They're not in the customer service business. They don't get back to you well. They don't communicate well in these regards. When I file a mandamus lawsuit, we have direct access to the consulates because we're working with the U.S. Attorney's Office, because we have litigation ongoing. So it makes it much easier for me to solve problems like this. If you're having trouble extending your visa, I can email the U.S. Attorney's Office and they usually can get back to me and fix these sorts of problems. These are uncertain times. I'm not quite sure how things are going to work, but those are my thoughts on things right now. I don't think the validity date, extending the validity date of an immigrant visa is going to be a huge challenge, but that's my thought on it right now. If you have more questions or you need help, please get in touch with me, shoot me a message, leave your questions in the comments below, and I'll get back to you and I'll do my best to answer your questions and help you out. If there's anything more I can do to help you, get in touch with me. Be well, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.